Whew. Well, hello. Preston, hey, buddy. Ed, be sure to ask some questions today. If there's something specific you need to know, there are so many little things that Justin at JamPro Sound and myself know about using the use of Reaper, and both of us are happy to help you and share all that we've learned to get you up and running as quickly and easily as possible without a bunch of this massive learning curve. Um, Preston, it's great to see you. I had a great visit with you last night. That was fun. I'm having some OJ. Cheers, brother. All right. My blood glucose, perfect timing. My blood glucose was just a little bit low, so I'm drinking some orange juice. Uh, that was a blast. Um, and I hope that you might find some time to bang out some chords on that riff that I sent you yesterday. Um, it was kind of it's a very obviously it's a very simple piece of music, but it'd be cool to have. I know I put down stereo guitar tracks, but it would be really cool to have a second guitar player playing that second part on the right channel versus the me playing them on both, just to get that separation. The stereo field of a mix is something that I truly love, and having two guitar players in a band. Okay, cool. I'll bet you did. You were up late, bro. I was too, man. I think I woke up about 9:30 this morning my time, which was whew. I had some coffee. I still have a little bit of coffee in my I'm biased. These are the greatest guitars, acoustic guitars made. Okay, I didn't want to go too terribly long on this. I had been uh, hit up about doing a doubled guitar track and getting a nice stereo field in Reaper. So I'm going to show you my process of doing it, and we'll just dig right in. I'm going to go ahead and grab my guitar at this point, which it should be coming through the microphone very clearly now. Yeah, Justin was in bed early last night, man. All right, so we've got a guitar plugged directly into my audio interface. Channel one, it goes from here to channel one in my audio interface. And Ed, who has just acquired Amplitube, can do this with Amplitube inside of Reaper exactly how I'm doing this. And I'm going to try and go through this fairly well. I'll just try and be as what's the word I'm looking for? Comprehensive as I can and simple. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. So where we're going right now, this is my track control panel. And this is my mixing control panel. And you can see that I've clipped the mic. If you, these red disruptive red spots, if you double click them, they'll vanish, right? So we'll go back to my track control panel. I like to work in this environment. Okay, so with Reaper, I've got my voice running in here so that y'all can hear me, and that's being sent to OBS, which is being sent to YouTube, and we can talk about that. That's not what this stream is about. So we want to add a track. I want to get my guitar into my DAW, so I'm going to double click and a track appears. Pretty simple. If I double click below that one, another track appears. Well, I'll be dipped if I don't need two tracks to do this little trick. So I'm going to input my guitar right here, and it's plugged into channel one. So I have my input one selected. And if your display doesn't look like this, I have customized mine to have this information showing. There are ways that we can work with that, and that's in your theme adjuster. I'm going to dive into this real quick. It is themes and theme adjuster. And I'm going to move this over to here. So here's your theme adjuster. And all of these things that are checked hide. If you open up your theme adjuster, you're going to find that your input, your routing, some of these are hidden. If you copy exactly what I've done, now I just pulled down on that and now they're hidden. If I push up on it, click them, and I don't want any of this stuff hidden. So you can go in here to be able to see these specific controls. Some of them are hidden. I like to have mine set up this way. So that's my help. That's in options, themes, and theme adjuster. So there's a setting inside of Reaper that if you're unaware of that, that can be very useful. Okay, you're not able to see the theme adjuster on that screen. Is that correct? Interesting. That's probably because I'm doing a window capture. Let me know. So let's take a step backwards. I'm going to open up this track, which will be my guitar track. I'm going to arm it to record. So now when I strum my guitar. Okay, so now I see why. Give me just a moment. This should be, what is this? What are the properties of that? This is a window capture. I need to make that a screen capture. Let me make an adjustment to my, let me make an adjustment to OBS real quick. And forgive me for this, okay. That needs to be, okay, so I'm gonna remove that. Yes, and so now you should see my desktop. There it is. And I'm gonna add in track control. I need to set, what is it? Video, not window capture. Display capture. I'm gonna call it display 1. This should fix this fairly quickly, and there it is. Automatic display 1. All right, so now in OBS you should, and let me see, where's my, let me move this order, move to top. There we go. All right, so now my OBS should be, yeah, so now we've got this. All right, so let me, once again, I'll show you in options and themes, and if you open the theme adjuster, this is what you can use to display all of these settings that I have over here. And what I've done in mine, if you open this up, you'll see that it has some of this stuff hidden. Again, just unhide them. If I click on this hide, now that is unhidden. I leave these two hidden because I don't need to see those, and that's my preference and my setup. So Ed, if that helps you in some way, I hope it does. If you want to remove multiple tracks, you can select multiple tracks, right click on them and remove tracks. Pretty simple. All right. Yeah, Ed, that theme adjuster is really killer. Okay, so the point of this whole stream was to show you how to use stock Reaper plugins plus an amp sim to get a really cool broad stereo effect for your guitar. If you've watched the Foul Crow live, we've all heard it. Oh yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and insert 2 new tracks. I'm gonna arm this one to record, and now my guitar should be just dry as a bone. And it's not very loud. This guitar is tuned down to C sharp, not drop C sharp. So now in this track, I'm going to add, let's go with Archetype Nolly. It's a very popular amp sim in the Neural DSP. And it has all this window has all this white extra space taken up. If you go to effects and float window, now you can get it kind of minimized. And I'm going to shrink this amp sim down to a medium view. So now it's not taking up quite so much of my space. And I'm going to turn a delay on, and I'm going to have the ping pong set to on. And so now I've got a really nice, and that should be coming across big, bold stereo. Yeah. Okay, so let's just stop right there, Ed. Very cool. Definitely curious how to get a plugin working on a track. Well, what I just did was made a plugin work on a track. And I'm going to go ahead and close this amp sim. I'll repeat this step one more time for you. So I've got this plugin on here. Let's say you don't like that plugin. You have this beautiful little button down here that says remove, right? And bloop, it's gone. And now my guitar is just going into that input with nothing on it, right? Let's add, and we've got all these effects we could put on it. All this stuff. What I'm going for, obviously, is an amp sim. So I'm going to reinstall Nolly on this track, and it'll show up. And I'm going to float that window. I like to do that just to keep all this white, because I don't need any more than that. And again, we'll turn on some delay. And we'll turn the mix down a little bit. It's a bit extreme. All right, so now we've got an amp sim on that. And obviously you saw how I did that by clicking the effects button and adding an effect. And I can put more effects on this track if I want. I've got Archetype Nolly in there. Let's put a big, beautiful, here's a really cool chorus effect. I'm gonna type in Oz, and this Ozifier chorus. Get ready, folks. Okay, so here's right? Woo! Isn't that cool? It's way too much. All right, so we're going to double this guitar track. I'm going to get rid of that. I removed that Ozifier, but the effect by just hitting the remove button. So some pretty simple ways to add effects to a track. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close the amp sim window, and I'm going to show you my, this one. Okay, should be, here are my, my mix window. Often the mix window, I have two separate monitors in my recording studio that I'm using to run Reaper on. I have my track control panel on one window, and then my mix control, my MCP, on the other window, which is what you're seeing now. This is the mix control panel. And what I'm gonna do is these little areas right here are sends, and these are the effects, right? So this space up here is for your effects. This space down here is where you send a track to another track. So I'm gonna grab this, left click it, and drag it over here. And now I have mine set to go pre-fader, which is where I generally like it. And I hit okay. And now when I play, my guitar is now coming through both of those tracks, right? Now, if I pan them hard left and hard right, still, we haven't done anything to create any type of stereo field, right? So what I'm going to do is go up here into my effects, and I'm going to bring this window over here, and I'm going to delete this search, and I'm going to go to a stock Reaper plugin called Redelay. Awesome delay effect. I'm going to add that to this channel. So now Redelay is on this track, and my guitar channel is being, my guitar track is being sent to this track. So I'm going to set this to 100% wet. So 0 dry signal, right? And I'm going to not do eighth notes. I'm going to do length, and I'm going to put about a 19 millisecond, 20 millisecond delay on this. 16, let's do 20 something. And you can type it in here, 18.5. And now we've got a beautiful stereo effect. Yeah, yeah. And if you have dual monitors, Ed, that is a it is certainly a bonus. If you're working on a laptop, you don't have a lot of real estate there. So, and I've done it. I've mixed entire and recorded entire songs on my little laptop over here. I've got a 17-inch wide monitor on my laptop. But the whole point in doing this video was really and to answer your question, Justin, because the delay, that track is hitting at 0. So you're hearing that at 0, and you're hearing the second track 19 milliseconds later, which is why people have 2 ears, as we know. And we can go back into this, and if I... You can hear that delay is bouncing back and forth very nicely, right? I'm going to go ahead and open up this and turn the ping pong effect off. And it's still straight up mono. Yeah. So it really depends on the effect that you want to go for. In this case, I like that ping ponging effect. I think more because it's just such a glorious sounding thing. And I'm not here to play guitar all day. Does that answer your question, Justin? It just gives it a really nice sound. You don't actually have to have that ping pong effect on it. In fact, if we turn the delay off, so now we've got basically a dry guitar with distortion on it, we still have a nice stereo field. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ed. Yeah, these are on sale right now. I think you can get them. They're, I don't know, maybe Nolly's $99 right now. And again, if we remove this effect, I'm gonna give you kind of a before and afters. Or well, let's go before. I'm gonna mute. Let's see, so we can see this. I'm making sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. So Nolly all by itself with no stereo effect, no nothing. And you're hearing a little pick noise through my microphone, and I've got a way to quell that a little bit, but I'm not going to do that right at the moment. I could, I suppose. Right, so a nice mono guitar tone, but the moment I pan that over to the left and pan and unmute my send, now we've got a really... Yep. Yes. And Ed, that is a great point. And I do the exact same thing when I'm tracking. Part of the reason that I do this is for, number one, when I'm doing a live stream, I've got this guitar sound versus a mono guitar sound. So everybody listening in headphones or through some nice studio monitors is going to hear a beautiful stereo field. Now, and I use this also for tracking, because when I'm playing, I want to hear what I'm fucking hearing on the record. When I play a live show, what I have coming out of my monitor, I want it to sound in my in-ears, whatever. I want it to sound like a fucking CD. I don't want to mess around with hearing something kind of half-assed. Uh, so ultimately, I want to give myself, when I'm tracking a song, that feel of big, bold stereo guitars, even though I'm just one person, right? So it gives you this nice, big, bold feel. And the moment I go to track the second guitar, I will pan my first guitar about, I don't know, maybe 50% left. And then my second guitar track, I'll pan it 50 to 70% right. And we can pan these in a little bit, you know. So yes, it's not, my humble opinion, it's not proper to copy and paste one performance into another track and call it a stereo track. It truly isn't. It's just a copy of the exact same performance. However, if you do delay that by using this simple delay effect that I've used on that, using an 18, 16, 19, you can make it as, until you start hearing it, to the point that it's annoying. So yes. Yep. Oh, Preston, that would be really cool. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. So you all know the point. So yeah, if I was recording, I would certainly play a second guitar track to try and mimic and duplicate the first track that I played. But obviously, we all know that the imperfections in that will make that, you pan them out wide left and right, you're going to get a beautiful stereo track. So, with this, let's go back to my tracks. I like to kind of see this in a way, and I'm gonna forgive me to all you metalheads, but let me get rid of that window. I want to make this the view medium. I'm gonna change the amplifier to a clean amp, right? And now I'm gonna pan these out wide, left and right. Again, my mix window. So now we've got a nice big wide guitar track, and now I've added some delay. I'm gonna add some reverb to this. We'll make it nice and wet. What's my tempo set at? I'm at 112. So I'm gonna record something right now. So you can kind of get an experience for what I hear when I'm tracking a guitar part. I'm just gonna make something up. I don't really, you should hear the click. And let me also do this. Record disable, input monitoring only. There we go. So now my voice, it won't record onto my voice track. And we'll give it a little shot here for a recording. Okay, here we go. Oops, that sounded terrible. I'm gonna undo that recording. Boop, it's gone. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. We'll try something else. Yeah, this sounds terrible. It sounds like my guitar is like way out of tune. Yep, and that's the best way to be, dude. Don't waste your time recording something and that's kind of crappy. Man, yeah. Dude, ask me when the last song I released was. So I'm gonna try again here. Let's see. So let's just use some cowboy chord. Ooh, boy. My guitar is way out of tune. That's what's going on here. It's killing me. There we go. Make sure your guitar is in tune when you're recording. I'm really not liking this guitar tone, but hey, I should be able to undo that. Yeah, here we go. This ought to sound a little better. Okay, let's duplicate that track. Watch this. Right click on it, duplicate tracks, select that track, delete it, unarm one of them to record, and we've got this one panned clear over to the left, this one panned clear over to the right, and we've got our doubled track. I'm going to mute that, and here we go. Now we're going stereo. And now we've got this beautiful stereo track. Right. Yeah, and you know, that is definitely a boy. Yeah, tuning these things down, and I just tuned this down yesterday, so it's still adjusting, and the temperature in my home has been fluctuating quite a bit, so this guitar is really not loving staying in tune. Yeah, and if we go ahead and just play this back, we can listen to this beautiful stereo guitar. We'll turn the click off and listen what it, this big wide stereo. And I played something different on both sides, as if there's two different guitar players. Yeah. So kind of cool. And having that, you know, obviously you can loop that and play a guitar solo over it for half of the day if you'd like. But again, the whole point of this was to basically show you how to get that big, beautiful stereo effect, which is really helpful, I think, in helping your tracking process sound really big. And whether you use Reaper or not, and a good, you know, this is basically implementing the same effect that a lot of guitar players will use when they're using two separate amplifiers on stage. They'll use an ABY switch and split their signal out to two, but one of the amplifiers gets 100% wet delay pedal put on it with 20 milliseconds of delay on it, and that gives you the stereo effect that is heard by the audience, if it's possible. Yeah. Yeah, and when I was tracking yesterday with this thing, I was definitely having to tune a lot, but it became a bit more stable. We've had a pretty interesting change in weather today. It's really warm outside. So, all right. I think I've kind of covered the subject that I really wanted to hit on today as quickly as I could. If anyone has any questions about anything I've done on this video, you can actually go back and watch it again, or I have a few other videos on my channel that have some tricks to using Reaper and setting it up. And I'm also available to talk with online. We can do a StreamYard meeting or Facebook Messenger to help if you need some help, personal help with this. Both Justin and I are pretty fluid with the use of Reaper and how to use it. I think somewhat wisely. Here's another thing, Ed, that I want to throw at you real quick. I don't know if you've gotten the extensions option on your Reaper. If you open your Reaper window, if you don't have the SWS extensions, go to SWS extensions and download that. there is stuff like this auto color. Check this out. If you don't have this in Reaper, absolutely get in there and download it. It's SWS extensions. Check this out, auto color. So I have all of these rules. So if I type guitar, obviously, it's going to turn green. If I go down here and insert a new track and type internet and hit enter, it turns pink. If I go in here and type click, boom, it turns red. If I type violin, it'll turn pink. That is one of the best. Okay, I can't recommend it enough. You can see that what it can do. A lot of guys don't necessarily like seeing such colorful stuff, and you can set these colors to anything you'd like. Let me go back in here, and I'm gonna delete these 3 tracks, remove tracks because I don't need them. Yeah, I've got like acoustic guitar rules for acoustic guitar, and you can make a rule, add a rule. Let's see. So I got this rule here. Let's call it booger. So if I type booger, and it doesn't have a color, but let's go to set color, and we'll set booger to become something like brownish, I guess. Here's a good color. We'll hit OK. And if I go to one of these tracks and type booger, and I don't know if it'll do it. I might have to booger. Boom. That's how hard that is. Pretty cool. This is an awesome, awesome extension. Yep. And yeah, I color code everything. Bass tracks are blue, guitar tracks are green, vocal tracks are yellow, drum tracks are purple, synth tracks are blue, like a light blue. Orchestral stuff is typically pink. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you use you're using Cubase? Okay. Yeah. Well, if you have an opportunity to work with Reaper, man, yeah, yeah, there'll probably be a bit of a learning curve. So hopefully, watching, stuff like this will help. And dude, their online resources on YouTube are absolutely fantastic. They have crushed any competition with respect to their support for their product online. It is unbelievable how much information is out there to learn um, about Reaper from the boys who know it best. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Justin's very correct about that. Okay. I'm going to end this stream. It went on way longer than I expected. I thank you guys for being here. I hope that I've taught you something today. If nothing else, it helps when you're jamming. It just everything sounds so big and huge to have a big, beautiful stereo guitar track, and it's very easy to do. So I want to wish you all a happy Saturday. Have a great day. Get some recording done. Looks like Preston and I will be releasing a song tomorrow. Is that what's happening? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so Ed, you're on a Mac, it looks like. Okay, cool. Reaper operates very similarly between Mac and Windows. They've kind of balanced that whole proprietary shit that Apple does versus Windows, and they both operate very similar. There's a few navigational differences, but you guys have a great day. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Um, Peace, y'all. Oh, how do I shut this live stream off? There it is. Okay, I'm ending now. Peace, y'all.